Hello, scientists. It's Mrs. Gallagher here. We're going to do some science experiments together. So the first one is about motion. So an object at rest will stay at rest. That means if my pen is on the table and I don't touch it, nothing else touches it. We don't have a giant gust of wind or anyone shaking the table. It will just always stay at rest. So we're going to test that theory. So I'm going to bring you over to my laboratory. All right, for this experiment, you need a cup and then a more firmer piece of paper. So I have two. I have a recipe card, like a thicker note card, and then I have a thicker mail piece, I should say. Okay, so here's our cup. We have our table, and we're gonna put a coin there. Doesn't matter what kind of coin you use. So you can do it two ways. So this dime will not move. If we leave it there, it's gonna be there all the time. With nothing else, there's no wind gust or people moving. So we're gonna try to get this dime into the cup, okay? So you can do it two ways. You can flick it, bam, or you can do like in the movies, the tablecloth trick, where they pull it real quick. Now that's a little trickier. Okay, so I got my dime. It's at rest. It's always gonna stay at rest unless something happens to it. So then I'm gonna try to pull it. 1, 2, 3, wish me luck. Got it. All right, so when you have that down, you can make it more challenging. You can add heavier coins. You can add 2 coins. And both of them went in the cup. So that's always a fun one. The other experiment you can do it involves motion and physical change. So physical change is it's gonna stay the same, but you're gonna change a little bit about it. So for example, I have this piece of paper, it's paper, okay? If I take this green pen and change the color, it's still paper, just greener, if you can see that. If I take the paper and rip it, it's still paper, just smaller. If I take the paper, so at that time I change the size. Take the paper and crumble it up. I've changed its shape. So I've changed the color, the size, and the shape. And I've also now, oops, I ripped it some more. Changed the texture. It went from smooth to bumpy, but still paper. That has not changed. It's been paper the whole time. So here's some things you can do. So grab a piece of paper. You can make a paper airplane. So, oh goodness, it'd be hard to make one real quick. Oh, I think I do. So your job is to make a paper airplane, and then you can test it. So here's my paper airplane, and then let's see if I can back up. I'll fly at you. Oh, I didn't fall. Fly too far. So then you can try different airplanes. What would happen if you changed the size? What if it went smaller? What if you got a bigger piece of paper? What if you added color? What if you added a paper clip for like weight? Would that help it? Would it not? Also, your plane is going to change, your flight pattern, if there's wind. Right now in my house, there's not really too much wind. But if I go over to the air vent, that will give it a little air resistance. Same with outside. So you can always make different paper airplanes, try different models, and then see how far. Bonus, when you fly it, you can get a tape measure and measure how many inches away from you it landed. Just kind of fun thing to do. You can challenge a parent or a sibling or up here and see who can build and fly the farthest plane. So those are all great things as well. The last experiment I have for you is one you're going to do with ice cubes. So you're going to have, if you want to, it's an optional one. You're going to take blue and yellow ice cubes and then put them to freeze them and then put them together. I'm going to ask my assistant, my husband, would you mind filling that up, please? He's going to fill my cup up with water. I'm going to take blue, food coloring, and red. Now, if I had room in my freezer, I would have made ice cubes. So, but instead, we're just going to do this. Thank you. Okay, so back to my lab. See if we can show you my cup. All right. We're going to see what happens if I add some red. I'm going to add, say, 5 drops of red. So that was 2, 3, 4. Oh, I think I've added more. We'll just keep adding. So that's all my red. I'm going to add in this cup more red than blue. We're going to see what color it comes up with. So think about what color you think it is already. So red, and we'll add a little blue. Think of what Mrs. Reiser's taught. You know, it'd be easier. I might have to get a clear cup so you can see this. So as you're watching that, I'm going to go get a clear cup. That way you can see it here. Keep making predictions, because scientists always make predictions. Okay. Hypothesis, they see, they test, and then they can try it again. All right, so here is our mostly red, the little splash of blue. Oh my. So if you said it turned into purple, that's what it looks like. So it's a little, it's harder to see, but you can do this experiment at home. So this is like a, maybe we'll see lighter, kind of looks brown. We're going to take this cup and we are going to do more blue. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Exact measurements. Ooh, look at this blue. Okay, and then I'm going to add the red. I'll add 2 drops, well, 3, bonus drop. And then we'll stir it up. And this one made a darker purple. So you can kind of see it might be easier you do it for when you do it at home. But the point is, I want you to see when you do your experiment, when you add more yellow, is it going to be a lighter color or is it going to be a darker color? If you add more blue ice, is it going to be the outcome going to be brighter or lighter? So darker or lighter, that's kind of your thing. So the other fun one, I'll share one more and then I'll let you go. The other fun one is taking an ice cube and kind of like ice skating with it. So you put it on a surface. Oh my goodness, my hands are all dyed. And you pass it back and forth. So you can like kind of do like your the Winter Olympics and you're trying to make it land on a certain spot, or just keep passing it back and forth with someone. And eventually the friction and the heat and I mean, the surface you want, or you're going to make the physical change. It's water, it's frozen, and then eventually it's going to change shape, change sizes, change textures, and change masses. It's going to become liquid. So it's kind of fun to see how many times you can pass it back and forth, or you can even do it by yourself. So those are experiments. The motion one, when you get a cup, put a harder piece of paper and an object on it and see if you can flick it, or tablecloth, pull it. The next one was making paper airplanes and testing the air resistance as well as physical change, still paper no matter what shape size you make it into. And the experiment with colors. So, and then the last one with the ice. So you have 4 different things you can do. So perfect on a hot day. See how you could time how long your ice goes from frozen to liquid, so solid to liquid. But anyway, hope you had fun learning some science experiments. And if you take pictures, go ahead and send them to your teacher and we'll post them on our Class Dojo or Bloom's sites. All right, take care. Adios.